This video will be the only OnlyFans marketing guide you'll ever need in order to grow, make money, and understand the OFM space. I'm gonna do my very best to blow your mind, and I hope you walk away from the video with a ton of newfound knowledge and resources that can help you. So, who am I and why should you listen to me? I'm Renato, the co-founder of TickFusion.com, where we help OnlyFans agencies and creators scale their organic social media accounts like TikTok, Instagram, etc. I've been in the OFM space for around 20 months at this point, and in that time I created over 1,500 TikTok accounts and uploaded tens of thousands of videos to the platform. This in return allows me to show you the things no one else can show and tell you the things no one else can say. And in this video I'm going to try to compress for you as much value into as little time as possible, and I hope you find that valuable. So I'm going to teach you the concepts that most agency owners and creators get wrong, and that makes them miss out on a ton of profit. We're talking like tens, potentially hundreds of thousands of dollars. So I'm going to do my best to explain to you all of those concepts, why they matter, and how you should approach all the things we discuss in this video, along with frameworks that can help you solve issues in the future. And so the first thing I want to talk about is you're not treating OnlyFans as a business. So, the mistake that way too many people make in the OFM space is that they don't treat OFM like a business. Most people just like to call themselves an online pimp and have no idea what they're doing. This is the idea that I'm going to focus on the most in this guide. It is quite literally the most important thing to understand if you want to succeed as an OnlyFans agency owner or creator. It is the thing that will decide if you succeed or fail, so listen carefully. And the most interesting thing is, like, most of the problems you face are because of this exact issue. The reason why you don't have enough traffic, the reason why you don't make as much money, the reason why you don't get subs on OnlyFans is because you are missing the most fundamental thing, and that is to understand this is a business. Now, what do I mean by that? What do I mean by this as a business? So OnlyFans in itself, being a sexually centered sector, makes it easy to make money in, because sex sells. It's been like that for decades. Sex always sells. Now, if it's already a quote-unquote stupid sector, imagine how much money you can make if you just use 10% of your brain and apply some basic business lessons to it. So again, what do I mean by OFM as a business? Take a look at what the most successful OnlyFans creators are doing. All of them have a brand, and most people don't even understand the concept of a brand, so I'm gonna teach you about it. I'll spend a lot of time in this video discussing what a brand is, because you have to heavily understand what it is and examples on how to use it to your advantage. So, let's get into the concept of brand. So you've probably heard the term, all publicity is good publicity. So even if you did something stupid or controversial, it should be good publicity. That is similar to what I'll explain here. So as I said before, take a look at what the most successful OnlyFans creators are doing. All of them have a brand. So when someone sees your model, what we want to achieve is you want their name, your model's name, to pop up in your head, just as it would for like Mr. Beast, for example. You want your model to be a brand, not just another girl they masturbate to. So you have to understand advertising and branding. They are two different concepts. And I'll try to explain the two in very simple terms so it's easy to understand for you. Advertising is the process of making people know. And branding is what you made them know. So let's take Amaranth for example. She is one of the most successful OF creators and makes a ton of money. She is the perfect example of advertising and branding. She is a Twitch streamer and YouTuber, and that's how she lets people know of her. That's her advertising. So YouTube and Twitch streaming. And what does she make them know? That's where the branding comes in. What did you let them know? She lets her viewers know that she is a good-looking redhead with big boobs and ass. So if that's your type and you're attracted to her, you're gonna want to jerk off to her when you're horny. And newsflash, men are horny 90% of the time. And that's why the sex industry makes so much money. And then all she has to do is let them know she has an OnlyFans, and she suddenly has infinite traffic. It just keeps coming in. And let me ask you a question now. What method is she using? I'm gonna discuss the topic of methods quite a lot. So, what method is she doing? Literally nothing. She is simply advertising herself constantly and building a brand through social media. I am heavily not in the favor of methods, and I'm gonna discuss why. So, I'm not saying your model should now go start becoming a Twitch streamer and upload videos on YouTube. That would take months and maybe even years, of course. It's a very long-term plan. You don't even know if you're gonna be with that model forever. But what I am saying is you should try to build a brand for your model. Methods only last for a certain period of time and take lots of your time away. So if you don't invest your time constantly into dating apps or Reddit, there are no results. I'm gonna expand on this a bit later. But usually, something that is easier usually doesn't yield as good of a return. But this is one of the rare cases where something that's easier actually has a much bigger return than something that is much harder. So dating apps and Reddit are a lot harder to run and take more effort, and their maximum potential isn't even that high. Most OFM agencies are focusing on the wrong thing. They have what I like to call the shiny object syndrome. So they're in a Telegram channel with other OFM guys, and they see someone mention they're making 20K a month with only Reddit. And you know what they do? Then they go start learning Reddit. Oh, I'm gonna try it. And then you're just chasing the next big thing instead of mastering just one thing, becoming the best at it. You keep chasing short-term methods instead of building something long-term. There are people who make a ton of money with Reddit or dating apps, but for 99% of the people, they are useless. If you have over 5 years of Reddit experience, own subreddits, and know the mods, sure, you can make a lot of money, but for most people, you won't make any money. And the reason for that is that all of these are methods. You should stay away from any special methods 9 out of 10 times. Do you think successful companies use special methods to grow their company, or do they follow certain business rules and lessons? Of course, there are nooks and crannies that you can apply to grow your business. Certain special methods no one knows, but 9 out of 10 times they're very stupid. So, methods also imply trying, and trying is a really, really bad thing, and I'm gonna expand on that a bit later. But anything you try is pretty much bound to fail. You need systems, not methods. And also, let me clarify something. I'm not even saying you can't make a lot of money with dating apps and Reddit. I'm saying you need to choose something and become the best at it. And it's not best to choose, it's best to choose something long term because methods can get patched. That makes them short term. Now, to tell you a story so you can understand this even better, I recently had a conversation and it changed the way I saw things. So, recently I was talking with a guy that owned a couple of jewelry stores, and then we also got into the topics of crypto, real estate, and stuff like that. And then we started talking about different types of investments, and I asked him what he thinks the best investment is. And he told me he thinks it's gold. And I was baffled. What do you mean gold is the best investment? Because for me, I know it's crypto. I know if in a bear market, around the general low, if I invest into Bitcoin and ETH, I know in the next 2 to 3 years it's gonna 2, 3, or 4x. And then I realized, well, hey, for him, for his case, gold is the best investment. He's a jewelry store owner. Of course, he knows everything about gold, how it moves, everything you need to know about gold. I don't know, I'm not educated into gold. He knows everything about it. And for him, that is the best investment. For me, it's not. So moral of the story is pick something and become the best at it. And in my opinion, it's best to pick something long term if you're already going to pick something. So now I'm going to expand on what that is. Take Reddit, for example. It's shit because you need people with spending power. They need to be in pain. Reddit users don't have spending power. They're only horny. Nothing else. They're just horny freeloaders. They usually don't have any money at all. So, for example, why do OnlyFans agencies and creators buy our Tick Fusion repurpose bot? Why do they buy our repurpose bot? Because they are in pain. They have a need to buy the repurpose bot because, for example, you have a model and you have two choices. She's either gonna make 30 videos a day, or she can make 3 videos, and then you use our Tick Fusion repurpose bot to create 30 more copies, and you can upload 3 videos on 10 different accounts from only those 3 videos she created. That's why people buy a repurpose bot. They're in pain in that certain issue that their model doesn't want to record 30 videos, and we provide the solution for that. Of course, there's other cases, this is just one of them. And let's also mention tube sites with Reddit. They are usually also shit. Like anyone who tried tube sites knows it's just a bunch of freeloaders, nothing else. Like if you get millions of views, it's gonna be a little profitable probably. But even then, just build a brand instead. The return is 10 times higher for both Reddit and tube sites. Yes, the users are in pain, like they are craving your product, your model. They're attracted to her. But they don't have any spending power. They have nothing. Get millions of views, you barely get anything in return. Like, again, they can work, but you're much better off building a brand. Much better off. There is no such thing as getting something from nothing. Methods aren't sustainable long term. They're based on nothing. They get patched every month, so you have to be looking for methods like a rat left and right. Build a brand. It's much more simple, and the return is 10 times higher. It's much more stable. You're creating a business. You need something that's stable, not something that can run away from you at your fingertips if they release a new update or something. So almost everyone that comes from e-whoring makes this mistake. Like, decide if you want to build a brand and a business, or do you want to do methods 10 hours a day for 4K a month? Like, pick your poison. Because those methods are directly connected to your time. If you don't do them, you don't get money. It's simple as that. But when you build a brand and have all of your followers in one place, a simple Instagram story or any video of her dancing in a slightly sexual way creates revenue consistently. That's the most important thing, consistency. And so take a look at what building a personal brand for your model can do for you. If you build her TikTok and Instagram out, she constantly has thousands of her fans at her fingertips. So you literally just post a story about a special discount you're having, and you get hundreds of new fans immediately. Building a personal brand is easier, it's long-term, and makes you more money in the process. And we took Amaranth as an example. Again, your model doesn't have to become a Twitch streamer. There are so many other examples of this. Take a look at any of the top creators on OnlyFans. Most of them are a part of an agency that actually knows what they're doing. They help their models build brands. The model becomes the brand, and anything they touch turns into gold. So what would you rather have? Your model be the brand, or you sitting 12 hours a day trying to master some kind of short-term dating app method that gets patched in a month? It's stupid. So instead of picking something short-term, pick something long-term. And again, for example, pick TikTok and Instagram and become the best at it. Then, when you have a network of accounts that have over 1 million followers, imagine how easy it is to build your model's brand. Let's say you have 1 million plus followers on Instagram across a couple of accounts. You start working with a new model, and you simply send all the traffic from those accounts to your model. You mention her in every reel you upload, you post a story, you post her video, and she starts creating good content. And in a short period of time, you can build her online presence tremendously. She herself will become a brand in a very short period of time, and you have a multiple 5-figure creator on a monthly basis very quickly. And to round this all up, I'm not saying you shouldn't do dating apps, Reddit, or any kind of method. Do them if you want. But understand that building your model's brand should be your #1 priority. Because at the end of the day, this is a business, not a game of secret methods. Don't complicate things that don't need to be complicated.